Hello everyone, today is 29th of March, now it's 5:30 in the afternoon Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is new episode of Headlines. Short summary, some of the news that I will talk about in a little more detail during the next news update, and also this evening 9 o'clock Moscow time on my Rumble channel during the live stream. I hope you will find time to join the conversation during the stream, and well, that's been said, let's go through some headlines now. And first of all, I will share with you information from Armenia-Russia. And according to this news, which is based on statements of Russian Defense Ministry, during the early hours this morning and the night time, Russian armed forces conducted drone and missile strikes on energo facilities of Kiev regime and also on air defense systems. And according to Defense Ministry, all targets were neutralized. RIA Novosti is also reporting that Ukrainian media during the day today reported about explosions in Kharkiv. Russian armed forces, as you know, increased significantly activity on Kharkiv direction, especially when it comes to airstrikes. And today, airstrikes and missile strikes, and today was no exception. No detailed information yet what exactly was targeted, but Ukrainian media and Ukrainian Telegram channels reporting about explosions in the city. RIA Novosti is also reporting that Ukrainian drone targeted civilian apartment today in Belgorod, and as a result of this strike, one person was killed and two civilians were wounded. This is what Kiev regime does. More failures on line of contact. Because of the more and more failures on line of contact, Kiev regime is becoming more and more desperate, and usually they are trying to target civilians. That's what they are doing on daily basis. RIA Novosti's report that Ukrainian company surrendered to Russian drone. You may find it difficult to believe this information, but it seems like Russian armed forces in one of the directions, according to this information, conducted massive drone strikes on the second line of defense of Ukrainian units. And when Ukrainian soldiers on the first line of defense see what happened to second line in their rear, they made decision to surrender, and up to 60 military personnel surrendered without Russian forces even conducting ground offensive. They surrendered to the drones, basically. Anything may happen on line of contact, and as I said many times before, this confrontation definitely will go in history as one that had a huge impact on warfare in 21st century, because like in no other military campaign, drones are playing immensely huge role during their operations now. RT is reporting that Europe is in a pre-war era, according to Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk. Well, scaremongering tactic continues from representatives of leadership among NATO member states. And RIA Novosti is reporting that Poland, I translated this information, so Poland suspended the treaty on armed forces in Europe. This is also quite important development, I believe, and after this suspension of this treaty, Poland will have legal rights, if they care about legality anyways, but still they can increase number of military personnel, including on the borderlines, as much as they like. And I believe, by the way, this is a preparation from Warsaw to conduct operation in the western Ukraine and to occupy territories, first of all territories that used to belong to Poland before Second World War. Let's continue. Vzгляд newspaper is reporting that experts in Bundestag, which is Germany's parliament, of course, conducted some investigative work and come up with conclusions that if Russian forces will conduct strikes on NATO military personnel in Ukraine, this will not trigger fifth article of the NATO about collective defense. Quite an interesting message from Berlin, by the way, to France leadership, first of all, because it's Macron, isn't it, that these days especially actively calling for deployment of NATO troops into Ukraine. And also Vzгляд newspaper is reporting that Russian Foreign Ministry made a statement that Russian 102nd military base in Armenia is a prior guarantee of sovereignty of Armenia. Well, if you remember, I said many times before that it's only a matter of time when Armenia will basically demand, under leadership of Pashinyan, this pro-Western government will demand the withdrawal of Russian forces from Armenia, and I guess we are getting closer and closer to this point, and that's the statements that are nowadays coming from Russian Foreign Ministry, because of course Moscow understands also perfectly well that it's only a matter of time, and Pashinyan and his associates will start, well, will ask, by the way. They don't need to demand, they can ask Russian side to withdraw its base, and that's what Russian side will do, of course. And that's a statement from Foreign Ministry that Russian presence of Russian militaries in Armenia is major guarantees of sovereignty of Armenia. Will Yerevan listen? Will official Yerevan listen to Moscow? I don't think so, but RT is also reporting that Pentagon offers to fund peacekeeping force in the Gaza Strip, according to Politico. Interesting offer from Pentagon, especially now when Netanyahu's government is not willing to de-escalate. So maybe Pentagon knows, and Washington in general knows something more. Let's see. And dear friends, of course, detailed information about every single news and some more informations that were reported by Russian media, as I said in my next news update, and also this evening during the live stream on my Rumble channel. RT is also reporting that 9 suspects in Moscow terror plot detained in Tajikistan, according to RIA Novosti news agency's report today. And of course, we are all informed that 11 suspects were detained in Russia, 9 of whom by court already been sentenced to, not sentenced, investigative committee asked court to detain these suspects for a time of investigation, and 9 of them, decision already been made about 9 of them, and I guess remaining 2 will also be presented to judges in upcoming days. And unfortunately, death toll in Moscow terror attack in Crocus City Hall reached 144. 1 more civilian died in a hospital as a result of injuries that this person received during that terrorist attack. RT is reporting that French spies, French security services basically, want Olympics opening ceremony scrapped. As many of you know, after Moscow terror attack, after terror attack on Crocus City Hall on outskirts of Moscow, government of France made decision to increase level of readiness among its security forces and police on highest level because of the terrorist threats, and French security forces are now asking basically this opening ceremony to be scrapped. But it's not just this, but France wants also foreign troops to reinforce Olympics security, according to media reports. This was reported by AFP, and 46 states, by the way, according to Interfax, 46 states already stated that they are ready to send their military and police forces to conduct security operations during the Olympic Games, which will take place this summer in France, so-called Olympics, by the way, so-called Olympics. After this institution was extremely politicized, I find it difficult to call this gathering real Olympics. But what is interesting, President of France, as we know, is calling to deploy NATO troops and French troops into Ukraine, and same time seems like French troops and security forces are unable to protect Olympic Games, so-called Olympics, and not just sportsmen and teams that will be there, but also local residents and the tourists. And this time Macron is bragging about deploying French troops in Ukraine. Something is not adding up, isn't it? And by the way, Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov made a statement today. He was asked and he answered on the topic of this Macron statements about deployment of NATO or French forces into Ukraine. And well, Macron's troops in Ukraine rhetoric is a PR stunt, according to Russian Foreign Ministry. That's how he reacted on this. Lenteru is reporting that plane with 180 passengers on board experienced near miss situation in the air in United Kingdom. By the way, this was reported by Daily Mail, and this passenger plane almost collided with the drone. So drones definitely are making impact, not just in terms of military operations and the strategies, but they are now becoming danger for civilian planes. And usually drones have some programming that they cannot fly high enough to endanger passenger planes or planes in general. But same time on internet there are possibility to buy programming that allows those drones to fly above several hundred meters, even for several kilometers. And as a result, this passenger plane almost crashed with that drone. Of course, investigation will be conducted, and some additional safety measures definitely have to be implemented worldwide, because drones are, drones can be bought by anybody through internet at any time, and they don't really cost some extreme sums. Interfax is reporting that to rebuild recently crashed bridge in Baltimore, crashed because of this container ship collided with it, will cost from $400 million to up to $1 billion, which is immense number, of course, immense number. But it is what it is, man. And this company, it was, I don't know who was the owner of this company, but this company is bankrupt, by the way. RT is reporting that US top 1% get $2 trillion richer. Not surprisingly, the combined wealth of the richest people in the US has grown to 44.6 trillion, according to the Federal Reserve. So it must be official number, and these people probably are much richer, because there is chance that the Federal Reserve don't really knows about all the assets that these ultra rich individuals or clans really have. Of course, all the details, as I said already, in the next updates and during the live stream. And I will end this short video now. It is quite short. Hopefully you will find this episode of headlines somewhat informative, interesting, and useful? And if so, please click that like button and leave some commentary just about anything, any topic. More likes and comments, in my opinion, definitely are helping to deal with the algorithms on both platforms, on Rumble and YouTube, and allows me to reach wider audience. And for very same reason, if you can, please share links to my channels and my videos with your friends on any of the platforms that you are actively using. And finally, if you find my channel or my channels interesting, useful, informative, and ones that deserve to exist in this field of news and political commentary, please consider to support my work with small donations through PayPal, Boosty, or by subscribing to my Patreon page, on which, by the way, I have some extra content on regular basis, second updates, extra content. Also, for example, tomorrow I will upload on my Patreon first episode of new program, Streets of Moscow. Hopefully Patreon community will find this program interesting. So yes, I mean, if you can, please subscribe to my Patreon also. You can see all the links under this video in description box and in the pinned comment. This is it for now. Have a great day and take care.